Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will talk about 8828, which is fuel. We'll talk about tanks, then tank vending system, center tanks, and then outer tanks. Then we'll talk about recirculation of the fuel, then APU fuel system, APU low pressure, then engine low pressure, then refuel defuel, and quantity indicating and quantity sensing. How do we sense tank level? Now in aviation we use two types of fuel, aviation gasoline and aviation turbine fuel. In big aircraft we use aviation turbine fuel, jet. Now we'll look at the panels. We have left tank pumps, right tank pumps and center tank pumps, and then cross feed, and we have mode selector switch. When the mode selector switch button is displayed in the lights are off position, so the center tank pumps are running at engine start for only 2 minutes. If slats are extended continuously, if slats are retracted until 5 minutes after the center tank low level is reached. The center tank pumps are manually controlled using the center tank pump push button. Now here we see cross feed push button. When it is selected in on position, when it's fully open, then it comes on green and on. Same goes for other two pumps, center tank as well as right tank. When we push it in off position, it will show off. Then, and if it is showing low pressure, then it will show in amber. Now same goes for other pumps. When the center tank push button switch is put in off position, it will show in white. And if low pressure is detected, the related pump will show in amber color. Center tank run if manual is selected on the mode selector push button. When it is in auto position, the center tanks are automatically controlled. Now this is the picture of engine low pressure valve indications and APU valve indications, and everything: center tank, fuel on board, and fuel flow. This is a picture of APU low pressure valve indication, and it is closed in this picture. When it's open, it will be in green color, and when it's in transit, it will be half in amber. Now all the positions are shown. When it is in open position, the fire push button is out, then it will be full arrow in amber color. Outer to inner transfer valve indication will be like this, and valves are open while commanded is closed, and no commands given, then it will show green plus amber. Now here we see fuel flow, how much fuel is flowing per minute and how much fuel on board is there on the aircraft. Half boxed amber means the quantity shown is not fully usable. Now here we see center tank pump indication. Inline will show in green and its pressure is normal. When the low pressure is there, then it will show in amber. Cross line means pump is automatically not running. Cross line amber means related pump push button switch is set to off position. Now here we see all the indications: APU valve indication, fuel on board, total fuel flow, outer to inner transfer valve indications, and center tank fuel pump indication. Here it's shown in green, that means related pump is running and its pressure is normal. Fuel use indication will show below 1 or 2, and it will show how much fuel from engine start till engine stop has been used. Automatically reset at next engine start on the ground. Now here we see all the indications of outer, center tank and inner cells. Fuel use indication is shown in green, means normal. Degraded mode will show lightly normal, and then boxed amber means outer or inner tank fuel quantity cannot be used, as shown in this picture. Now we will see how much fuel is shown on this picture, and we will move on to the next topic where we will see fuel temperature indication. Every tank is displayed how much degree it is, and if it pulses, that means it is abnormal. Above 45 degree or 55 degree, it's not allowed, or below minus 40 degrees Celsius, that means fuel is either freezing or it's abnormal temperature conditions for fuel. Amber related to aircraft is always a warning. If the quantity in the two wing differ by more than 3,300 pounds, the heaviest side will pulse, because it is not allowed to have more than 3300 so particular kgs. More than that, it will always give us warning. Inline green wing pump indication means pump is running and its pressure is normal. Then amber means pump is running and its pressure is not normal. Amber in related engine is not running. If the 1 or 2 is in amber, then that means that engine is not running. In this we can see that both the engines are running and everything is in line, and even the fuel flow is going to APU. Here we can see the fuel on board shown FOB white, that means it's normal, and if it's in amber, that means some message, warning message, engine warning display. Now it will show all the greens when all the pumps are running or crossfeed push button is switched to on position, or center tank is feeding or refueling is open. In fuel panel we can see the amber as well as green color. This is the picture of A320 with all the tanks, outer, inner, center tank, and everything displayed in this picture. And we can see left wing as well as right wing as well as center tank, and the ribs that will show which is the outer cell, which is the inner cell, and which is the vent from where if the fuel is more, then it will overflow from there. This is the center tank from inside, and all the ribs which we can see in this picture, and left wing inner cell is left wing inner cell, right wing inner cell, and center tank. Fuel quantity indication will also have a computer that will give the readings. In this picture we can see the LH tank, RH tank, and center tank, and how much fuel it can store. Now this is the picture of wing tank. We have seen the picture of center tank. Now this is the picture of wing tank and how much kilogram it can hold. This is the picture of center tank and how much kilogram it can hold in kgs and pounds. Now each fuel tank will work normally and has 2% additional space for expansion. Now these are the fuel pumps and APU pumps displayed in this picture, and the valve position. Now low pressure valve, air release valve, transfer valves, sequence valves. Now this is fuel pump, and we will also see wing tank pump canisters in this picture. The sequence valve gives priority by limiting. The crossfeed valve is normally closed in closed position. Now low pressure set off valve, in case of abnormal condition we can stop the fuel flow as well. And the pressure switches, where it is located and which position. The APU fuel pump is supplied by ACESS, and this is the RH forward transfer valve actuator. 2 level sensors are installed at each inner cell. Now air release valve is displayed in this picture. This is APU crossfeed, from where it will take the fuel from tanks as well as from center. Now APU will always get fuel flow from center most of the time. This is the fuel panel and each wing tank and how much fuel they are having. The fuel temperature indication will always show its temperature, and normally in green it means it's open, closed will always be cross. Now tank pumps, we can see all the highlighted. Now transfer valves are shown, which are highlighted. Crossfeed valves. Then next is APU low pressure valve, green normally open, closed is normally cross. Now this is in fully takeoff configuration, and all the indications are shown in green, that means it's fully ready for takeoff. When the auto feed is closed, then it will show in the amber color. Please set the pump push button in off. Now during the flight phases, what all distribution takes place, it will show in this. Now right tank pump 1 and 2 low pressure indication will show in amber. Now cross feed valve fault will also show in amber. Whichever is having any fault, it will always show in amber color. Now if you like this video, please do subscribe. You will see the subscribe button in below. Each of the tank will have particular indication if anything goes wrong. Fuel center tank pump low pressure, then it will show in amber. Any low pressure, it will show in amber color. It will detect where there is a low pressure, and that will show in amber color, and how much quantity of fuel is there, that will also show. And here we see all the warnings for the aircraft whenever there is low pressure detected, and how much it's detected. It will give us pulsing warning, and it will show which wing is having fault. Now here we see left wing tank low pressure level is reached, and it will show in amber color. Then next is right wing tank transfer valve closed, then it will show in amber color. Then next is right outer cell tank level shown, then left outer tank high temperature, then it will show amber color, and whichever the fault is, it will show on the EWD and fuel panel that this one is having fault, and it will show in amber color. And auto feed fault is there, then that will show in amber color, and which one is having fault. Now APU low pressure valve is reached, then it will show in amber color. Same ways we can see APU valve symbol is amber when the valve is not in the correct position. Now we'll see picture of Boeing 777. Capture and access door that they have, and the surge tank. This is the access door of Boeing 737 aircraft. Now this is surge tanks, some drain valve and everything, like in both surge tank, then access door, then right actuator, then float actuators, then wing dry bay where there is no fuel. Dry bay is where is the certain area where there is no fuel. Then this is the fuel quantity indicating system, and the sensors that they have inside and where it is located. Then water detection, how it is done, and then densitometer, which will check the density. Here we have the fuel quantity processing unit inside the aircraft, and fuel measuring stick, which will measure the fuel obviously. This is the picture of the tank and what all lines goes through that. Main tank number 1 and tank number 2 in the wings, each tank and their fuel quantity is shown. The center tank is shown in this, and then this is Boeing 737's engine and which fuel will flow in which engine. Now there are center tank, there is right tank, left tank. When number 1 engine is running, it will take fuel from number 1 tank. Number 2 engine is running, then the center tank and right tank will give the engine. When the crossfeed valve is open, then the fuel can be taken from either side. Thus the center tank fuel is used before the main tank. Whenever the operations are running, we will use center tank first, then main tank. Then this is the spar fuel shut off, and this is from cockpit where we can select fuel flow as well as engine start. Then it is electrically directed by the engine shut off valve, and then the spar fuel shut off valve is electrically controlled directly by the engine start lever. Here we can see the engine fire warning switch electrically controls the number 2 valves. Now the number 1 engine is not running, number 2 engine is running. So fuel pump supplies suction fuel feed when there are no fuel pumps to supply. The mechanical engine driven pump will supply through bypass valve. This is the fuel pump switches operate the fuel pumps, and it is showing all the aft, forward. Now this is the actual display in the Boeing 737, and the temperature is displayed. The pressure is it will eliminate pressure, and the switch is in on position, extinguishes when the pressure is not there, and the switch is in off position. Now this is the whole diagram of engines as well as fuel pumps as well as the selectors switches. Turn on the number 2 fuel pump for main tank number 1. Then the low pressure light for main tank fuel pump illuminates when the output pressure is low or the switch is in the off position. Turn on the number 2 fuel pump, main tank number 2, and look at the indications. Now we can see all the indications on this aircraft. This is the crossfeed button. We can select in open as well as in close position. Now this is turned to open position. The valve open light will display, and crossfeed valve is now in transit or in the commanded position. When it's dim, that means the crossfeed valve is fully open. Now we will look at the fuel system is now in typical pre-flight configuration, and engine's power valve closed, lights are on, everything goes dim, that means everything is running properly, and bright when it is in trial position or not reached to the commanded position or is in transit. Transit means it is about to get fully opened or about to get closed. Now this will indicate the temperature of the aircraft. -45 is the minimum, and plus 50 is the maximum that which it can sustain. If one wing is having more than 453 kg, maximum permitted imbalance is 453. If above that, then it will give indication that this wing is having more fuel. Normal ground condition APU section feeds from main. Extended operation, it will use from center tank first, then from the main tanks. Now fuel quantity alerts will show how much fuel difference is there and how much is allowed. Here is the review of the fuel quantity alerts of all the tanks. Now we'll look at the video of the tanks.
I'll show you the climb in. There's only one way and one way out.
We'll see how the excess fuel is vented out from the drain. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you are here still till now, please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.